fascinating. Last time I went to China, I ended up bringing up a different phone and a different computer, too.
Yeah, and that's the same advice the athletes are getting this year, too, Andrew. Experts are bracing for what may be the most hacked and spied upon games ever. You could call it the surveillance Olympics. This week, the FBI issued an alert warning everybody going to the Olympics to expect just about every kind of malicious cyber attack, including ransomware, malware, social engineering, and phishing campaigns. Now, the FBI is advising athletes to keep their personal cell phones at home, and the FBI warns the bad guys could use cyber attacks to make money, sow confusion, increase their notoriety, discredit adversaries, and advance ideological goals. But the Chinese government itself is also expected to be one of the biggest surveillance actors during these games. One veteran CIA analyst tells me athletes should expect that their rooms could be bugged, their political views will be scrutinized, and their movements may be tracked.
They've developed artificial intelligence capabilities, facial recognition software, far and above what you find elsewhere in the world. So this is actually not a big effort for them.
Now, advice from experts is for Olympians to assume that the Chinese government is watching. And because of that, they say you should do things like use a virtual private network. Don't log on to social media while you're in China. And don't enter any passwords, such as for your bank account. Now, the Chinese goal here is to avoid any conduct that they see as embarrassing to the government, so they're expected to be on high alert for political criticism, particularly comments around activism of democracy, human rights, or on gender-related issues. Andrew, back over to you.
Eamon, so here's my question. And I remember getting similar advice the last time I was in China. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, I get off the airplane, I turn on a phone. The second I turn on that phone, is there a human being that's acknowledging that there's a new phone that's connecting to the network and then deciding there's an American journalist or there's an American athlete or there's whatever, and all of a sudden trying to watch everything that goes on? How does this work at that level in terms of the scale of it?
Well, the specifics of it are not really known to the West, but the general outlines are, which is that there are thousands of bureaucrats who are involved in this censorship and surveillance operation. There's no question there are a lot of people in the Chinese government involved in this, but it's likely that your first connection to a cell tower in China, all of that is probably automated, right? And what the former CIA analyst that we interviewed for the piece there told me was that the Chinese are going to scrutinize everybody's political views. They know, based on your visa application, exactly who's coming to China, and they're going to look at all of your social media, your statements, anything you've done on television, in order to get a sense of whether you're the type of person who might say something about democracy or human rights while you're in China. Those are the people then that they'll drill down on to an additional level of detail, and that might be the group who have their hotel rooms bugged and that sort of thing. And what he said is that all of that could be to gather intel and dirt on those people. The Chinese government might use it to embarrass them. If they think there's a democracy activist there, they might embarrass them with some of their behavior at nighttime, say, in the Olympic Village.